welcome to the weekly gaming quick save show. Recorded live 3 p.m. Pacific time every Friday right here on twitch.tv/benreacts. I don't care that no one's here. That's first order of business. On this week's show, going to be reviewing Far Harbor, the new Fallout 4 expansion, and discussing what I'd like to see from the future of Uncharted. But first, let's take a look at some of the top stories of the week. Now, this week we finally have some news because E3 stuff is brewing and such. But first, no more first. We're going to take a look at two rumors that I think are the most interesting ones. Starting off, first, roll with it. No Man's Sky, rumored to be delayed by a month, a couple months, depends on who you talk to and who you listen to, whatever. Seems pretty real. Now, a lot of people kind of got mad. There was a bunch of stuff on Reddit about, I think it was the Polygon or the Kotaku rumor report of this, mad at them for somehow they're at fault. So who's at fault? Ridiculous. This is what is this game announced 3 years ago now, at least? This is one of those cases of I will believe it when I hear discs are being made and being sent out, because at a certain point you just can't anymore. You have to actually just wait, temper your expectations. They gave a release date for this crazy, expansive universe game 6 months out. One that didn't have a release date for years, even a release window for years. That's kind of your sign. And don't get mad at them. This is some crazy world. Maybe it's a couple months. Maybe it's to put PlayStation VR compatibility in it. No, I would not. I would not hope for that just yet. But this is to be expected. It's about on the wire. I'm getting a little tired of these games that are delaying a month out. Like, you didn't know you needed to delay this sooner? People are excited about this. It's a month away, and now I don't know. But still a rumor. And going on to another rumor. We have 2 Xbox Ones happening. That's the rumor. One for this year, which would be a smaller Xbox One, about 40%, so about like that. Just a little smaller. And the other one, the Xbox One Scorpio, to come out in 2017. Now, there's a couple little bits of the rumor that I have written down here. So, it would technically be able to support the Oculus Rift, which makes sense given PlayStation VR and all that. Okay. It'd be backwards compatible, so just like PlayStation 4.5, which is all but confirmed, they can play PlayStation 4 games, the Xbox Scorpio can play Xbox One games. Scorpio is obviously a code name. It's not an official name. Now, the big part of this is that it's 4 times as powerful as the Xbox One, which is insane. And let's talk in teraflops, because that's a fucking thing people do. Let's just talk about teraflops. So, the Scorpio rumored 6 teraflops. Okay. The rumored PlayStation 4.5, 4.1 teraflops. Still a lot higher than 4 times as powerful to get to 6. A lot higher, right? There's a problem with this, and when the PlayStation 4.5 rumors first came out, I talked about there needs to be some advancement in GPU technology, and I knew it was coming, but I didn't know it would have already happened by now. So NVIDIA unveiled the GTX 1080, which is basically twice as powerful as the 980. That's the big improvement I was expecting to happen, but in a year, not a couple weeks ago. That's cool. That's great. That brought GPU prices down. Does that mean these new consoles, which seem likely, would be 350, 400? That's more plausible now, but I think the real discussion point here is why. There's so much to prove with these new consoles because the console space has never done a split cycle. It's never done the iPad model or the iPhone model where games still work and then it kind of gets phased out as your phone gets older, games don't work and whatever. But it creates a unified platform, and I think that's good. But the problem with that is the GTX 1080 is at 9 teraflops, which is a lot higher than 6 of the 4 times as powerful Xbox One. And this is also why I wasn't super excited about these new consoles when they came out. Not these new rumored ones, the old PS4. The old PS4 they were way behind PC gaming. And even with this jump, it's still kind of, if they come out next year, still pretty far behind PC gaming. And with kind of rumblings and evidence with Quantum Break coming to PC, and Gears maybe, and Halo kind of, a lot of Xbox One games are just straight up coming to Windows 10. So why do I need an Xbox One? Why do I need a console? And besides Bloodborne and Uncharted 4, there's nothing I've played on my PS4 that I couldn't have played on PC. And with consoles making this weird cycle of now I have to spend $400 every couple of years if I want the best experience, why not just get a PC? Why not? You can, $1,000 will get you a great gaming PC that's better than this Scorpio or the PlayStation 4.5. And that's the problem with it, to me. Why would I want to participate in this new model of, oh, a new console every couple months when I could just get a freaking PC and play the games better? What's the point of this? And that maybe not even is the real issue here. What incentive from developers is there going to make your game that much better? How much work does it take? Is there really going to be a big leap between these games? Is there going to be some kind of incentive? Why would you say make your game look that much better on a console that doesn't have an install base yet? Does this mean, if this comes out next year, does that mean 2020 there's another Xbox One and another PS4 or PS5 or whatever? It kind of ruins console gaming to me when I already wasn't playing that many console games. But they're rumors. Now, they're probably going to happen. Seems very likely. But until we know the full details, might be a little premature to think about it too much. So with that, let's get into the topics of the week. But first, let me see if I can say but first a couple more times. But first. Alright, I'm done. But first. Alright. Let's review stuff. So, Far Harbor, now play the goddamn thing. I'm a big fan of Fallout. Now, I don't have, I used to have the Pip-Boy sitting like right there. It's on the floor. Sorry, Pip-Boy. So I loved Fallout 3. I liked Fallout 4, but I think it kind of revealed a lot of its problems to me more this time around. Wasn't super into it. I find the combat kind of monotonous now, and the perk system's terrible and whatever, but these are all complaints about the main game, and I got bored with it. I played 40 hours of it, but I got bored of it. That being said, I did buy the Pip-Boy edition, and I did buy the season pass before they upped the price. So, what I discovered with Far Harbor is that I kind of have been playing the game wrong. I've been playing Fallout 4 wrong. And unintentionally, or maybe, I don't know, because I wanted to play it differently, I decided to just get a bunch of quests and go do them, which is that's the point of the game, right? Is to get the quests and to go do them. But I never, the way I played Fallout 3, the way I played, for the most part, Fallout 4 was, I'm going to pick a direction and I'm going to go walk around and explore. And that's fun and all, but it gets boring. And I don't know why I was forcing myself to play like this. So Far Harbor really made me realize, just get the goddamn quests and go do them. So basically in Far Harbor, it's a pretty big sized landmass. It's not huge. I wouldn't use that word. I'd say pretty big. There's a lot to see in there, and there's 3 main cities. And each city has its leader person that says, hey, go over to this other guy, they have a quest for you. This person has a quest for you, and so does that person. Okay, I get all the quests, I gather all the shit, and then I go out into the world and do the quests. And playing the game like that, where I was just checking things off, I need to go do this quest, alright, I'm gonna fast travel next to it, and walk there. Really, and not sightsee. Made the game so much more enjoyable for me. I don't know why I didn't realize it sooner, or anything like that. It was so much better to just pick a quest and go do it. And there are a lot of quests to do in this game. Like I said, there are 3 cities, and they basically toss you quests to complete. Now, they're simple quests. Sure, go here and kill that thing. Go here and see what happened, which usually involves fighting something and picking something up the ground. But there are a lot of things in the cities. The story and the plot of this is very interesting. It's basically 3 cities kind of keeping the peace, I guess. Without spoiling, it's not like a major spoiler. There's people, and they don't like each other. It's Fallout. No one's a fan of each other in this game. So you're keeping the peace between all these cities, and they all have their own issues. So you got the Far Harbor citizens who are we're just trying to live here with this creepy fog. And then there's Acadia, which is a synth city. And what's the name of the other? I don't even remember what they are, but the people who were the Atom guys. God damn, I was just playing this game. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The radiation, Children of the Atom. Boom. And they all have their own interesting stories. And what I noticed in particular was I really enjoyed listening to what all these characters had to say and kind of their history. Even the Children of the Atom, who I think are really stupid, it made me not care about them, I guess, but care about them, sure. That was interesting because I don't care about these stupid idiots who think radiation is some god. They're crazy people, but the people in the city are just people, and they have their little quests, and they have their little plights going on, and that was all interesting and fun to learn about. There was a lot more lore, I guess you could call it, that was fun to listen to and hear about, and I do like this contained package. I've said this about Dark Souls in the past, I would love a monthly fee Dark Souls where I just get new levels and new bosses every month in perpetuity. And that's what I like about the Fallout DLC. I'll tell you which harbor was for the farthest. That's what I like about this DLC is because it is a nice little chunk away from the main game. It doesn't have really anything to do with it except Nick Valentine. And you go there, and you do a bunch of quests, and you have its own little story, and then you're done. It's 12 hours, and then you wait for the new DLC. I like that model much more than getting a giant game like The Witcher 3 or Fallout 4. It's too much, in my opinion, for me, to be invested in. It's way too much and expensive, but a nice chunk like this, maybe you can make it a little bigger, sure. That's awesome. Which harbor is the furthest? You know, there are several harbors in this game. Most of them are uninhabited, so I think Far Harbor is itself the farthest. By name. Furthest, farthest, you decide. What else about... that's one thing to bring up, actually. They're about... So the main plot of this isn't very long, and I would recommend doing the side quest just because there's maybe 5 main quests to do. It's not a lot in the main plot, but the very end of it can splinter off into what you decide to do. There are a lot of factors at play with these 3 cities, and you can, not to spoil anything, you can kind of wreak havoc on them, on all of them, if you want to. Now, I didn't, because I didn't really see the point. They're not all bad, nothing's all bad. Some of them are better than others, but there is a nice little, it's a gray area. It is worth noting, though, that one of these quests, and a lot of these main quests aren't combat-based, which is nice to see, too, because I don't find the combat very, very great. One of these quests is, as I get lost in my brain, one of these quests is a pseudo puzzle Minecraft tower defense thing that you do in like the settlement building stuff. Yes, the main city in Far Harbor is called Far Harbor. It's kind of dumb. It's very dumb. I was confused when people started saying, "Oh, I live in Far Harbor," and I what? Wait, huh? Why do you live in? Why didn't you name it another? And then it's Far Harbor. I think it's Far Harbor because they used to have the whole island, and then you go to this other part that's the Southwest Harbor, and then there's another harbor. This was the far one. Whatever. So back to this jank ass stupid tower defense Minecraft garbage. There's 5 levels of it, and I don't think you have to do all 5. I think you really just technically have to do 1 or 2. And they're fine. The first couple are oh, the first one's cool. Oh, it's kind of a puzzle. And the next one's interesting. And then there's another one. And then there's another one. And by the time you get to the 5th one, it was borderline infuriating. And it's kind of half my fault, but mostly the game's fault for some of these weird mechanics it does. So you're walking around in this weird cube space, and you can fall off the world. You don't die and you don't lose progress or anything, but you can fall off the world. And to the developers I ask, why can you fall off the world if it doesn't cause anything? There's no reason to fall off a lot of these walls, and it just sets you back. And then that's besides the point, because you're building in this weird environment, and you're building blocks, and then there's blocks that shoot the laser beam, and the laser beam has to shoot firewalls, and it's out of control to understand all these weird things, and you gotta line them up, and it's just not that. It's fun for the first 3 pretty well, and then 4 kind of like, alright, the 4th one, the 5th one is just, someone had a field day with this, and they need to be stopped. It's too much, and when an hour and a half of a 12-hour DLC, and I did pretty much everything, when an hour and a half of a 12-hour DLC is spent in a minigame that isn't very good, I'm a little confused, because a lot of the rest of this is awesome. I don't think there is spray paint in the game. You know, I am playing on PC, so I could mod that. I could mod that, but you're making an assumption that there is a sign that says "Welcome to Far Harbor." There is no sign. This is a shanty town. It's a couple of cabins, just like any city in Fallout. It makes no logical sense because there are 3 houses grouped together, and it's like, well, this is our city. That's not really a city. That makes anything can be a city in this game, and it doesn't. There's no. Well, I guess there's no economy because the fucking world's over. But whatever. Even the other cities you go to that aren't Far Harbor, one's in a submarine base, but it's a religious cult, and that one makes the most sense of why everyone's living in shacks. And the other one is a bunch of synths, so they don't even need shit. And they don't care. The problem I have with cities in Fallout in general is that if you take Diamond City, for instance, it's in a baseball diamond, haha, Diamond City, and it's the most established city in the area. There's a lot of people there, etc. Why don't they clean it up a little? This is my major problem with Fallout 4. These bombs landed hundreds of years ago. Why don't we clean it up? How come there's so much debris everywhere? Why don't we get a little bit better wood for some of these planks, right? That's my problem, is it doesn't make any goddamn sense as to why it's so, not dilapidated, but just in disrepair constantly, and in debris. You clean up your goddamn house, people, in these games. Now, whatever. The Far Harbor DLC, in particular, is perhaps the most interesting thing in Fallout 4 I played. Now, I never beat the main campaign, so I don't know. But there's a lot of interesting things to do, a lot of cool characters, new enemies. tons of new weapons. That's something this DLC does that the main game didn't really do. It tosses weapons to you. So you're given, like, we'll do a bunch of quests. I finished this one quest, and the resolution was basically, I'm going to keep my mouth shut, and so is he, so that this other person doesn't know, right? So the end of the quest line is basically him saying, alright, we'll just keep quiet like this, and nothing ever happened. And then the screen pops to, here's a special sledgehammer you just got, and you get to rotate it, and then you exit that screen, and it's like, quest completed. Like, it doesn't make any goddamn sense. You keep your mouth shut, here's a sledgehammer. Like, it was so weird how it did it, but it's cool that all these special weapons you get. You get a ton of them. Now, are they better than weapons you probably already had? Nah, probably not. Or weapons you're randomly going to find. I found some weapon in this DLC that is just a random drop that's incredible. Incredible. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's cool to get weapons. There's an armor set in this that's pretty awesome, too. But you have to beat all 5 of those stupid Tetris Minecraft minigame. Good God. Are baseball bats a usable weapon? Baseball bats are a usable weapon in the game. Oh, there's some lore, too, in Diamond City about some guy who they worship this place almost. The baseball diamond, like it was some crazy sport of baseball where they went around and they beat people with bats, and that's what they think it is. As if there was no way to find out. As if in 200 years, all knowledge... I guess why would you teach your kids about baseball? But whatever. So yes, you can use baseball. But I find melee not very interesting in Fallout. I find the gunplay not super interesting either. It's about the story. And it's about the things that happen to these people. The combat is all over the place and doesn't really make sense. But it's fun enough. And I did find myself enjoying it more. I didn't feel as underpowered. I felt really underpowered in the main game. So maybe... I don't know. Maybe I finally stopped being an idiot since I finally figured out after 50 hours of the game how to play it in an enjoyable way. Right? That's so stupid. That's so dumb. It was basically the Warriors. Yeah, there's this guy you can talk to in Diamond City who's all about... He's wearing a baseball uniform. He's got the ball. He's got the ball. No, the bat. And he tells you want to know about the old thing of baseball that our ancestors used to do? Yeah, and he's talking about they'd put spikes on the bats and they'd do all this crazy shit and they'd beat each other up or kill each other or whatever. And that was what it was. It was basically, he's describing gang wars with baseball bats. It's interesting. All that stuff is interesting. Is it super compelling? I don't know. It's fun. It's more of a weird joke. Someone spent a couple of weeks on this weird baseball man. And I don't know if it's worth it just to have a goof. This weird goof, right? Goof is a fun word. But Far Harbor I really enjoyed. I don't know if it's worth... Isn't it like $20 or something? I don't know if it's worth $20. But the season pass. You got the season pass before they raise the price? Well worth it. Well worth it. Any other questions, Will, about bat gangs? The Roman city, the countryside, just beating people with their bats. That's basically what he described. I'd have to go back and find it and see what he had to say about it, but it's kind of obnoxious. That's the other thing too. You can get bogged down in the main game with all these people, but Far Harbor kind of keeps it contained to there's 3 people in the city you need to talk to. It's not 60 in Diamond City, for instance, which is a crazy town. It's too many people. Far too many people. How long have I been talking about Far Harbor? Jesus Christ. Not that long. Okay, let's chill. We're gonna move on to Uncharted. And I'm not gonna spoil Uncharted, so be prepared. I dance around it. I do have a spoilers tag, see? Boop. Boop. I'm very professional. Bat gangs. That's what it is. There actually was a Warriors game. I think Rockstar did it. PS2 game. I think this is the right one. So let's do, this is going to be, not to piss more people off about Uncharted, because everyone's all touchy. It's the best franchise. Watch out for spoilers. So, I determined what I want from the next Uncharted game. No spoilers. Now, in my pitch, more or less, for another Uncharted game, Nathan Drake is in it. Now, you can take that to believe he lives, or you can take that to be he dies in the game, and he's a zombie in my telling here. So either way you want to take it. Okay. But for people in the know who have beaten the game, you'll know exactly what I'm doing. For other people, you'll just think I'm a weirdo. Actually, both groups will probably think I'm a weirdo. So, Uncharted 5, a random girl. Now, we'll get to the girl part in a second. So the backstory for this new Uncharted is basically going to be Nathan Drake, or Zombie Drake, depending. No spoilers. So let's remove Far Harbor from this, actually. So Nathan Drake, after the events, which we will not discuss, of Uncharted, after the events of Uncharted, he goes and he becomes what Indiana Jones did, a teacher. Because why the hell does someone who knows this much about all this old shit and garbage not a teacher? You know too much, teach people. So Nathan Drake becomes a teacher, or Zombie Drake becomes a zombie teacher. Now, he becomes a teacher, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Now here's the thing. The next Uncharted, we're scroll down here. Now get ready. This is where the things happen. Alright, so the main character isn't Drake in this game. The main character is Maya Matlin from Degrassi, because she's awesome, for one. Now, two, and yes, I do watch Degrassi, but I'm like 2 seasons behind. Because I'm an adult. Okay, I'm an adult. Now, and why is it Maya Matlin from Degrassi and not the actress who plays her? Because that's stupid. Why would I want an actress when I can have a fictional character in this plot? So in this weird crossover universe, which is now Uncharted cross Degrassi, Maya Matlin goes to college, and her teacher is Nathan Drake. Okay? And they end up on a field trip. Go, scroll back down. Now they end up on a field trip. I don't know why, I just realized Nathan's making this really funny face. They end up on a field trip in in Peru or some crazy place. Not that Peru's crazy, sorry Peru. And everyone else, I don't know, gets lost or dies, I don't really care. But they end up on an adventure trying to get back to civilization. And this ignites Drake's crazy treasure hunting thing. But, and this is the real part of the pitch, not some goofy joke about Degrassi, I don't want there to be really combat in this. In the next Uncharted, what I really want is the story, the storytelling, and the platforming. And I don't want killing all these random dudes. Not that shooting's bad, or it's just not very interesting in Uncharted. It's not that great. And the rest of it is, to me. Now, something I would like to see is stealth. And what you can do in the jungles of Peru is have animals. Something that Tomb Raider has brought back very interestingly with, ooh, a cave, la-di-da-di-da. Oh shit, there's a bear in this cave. Now, I don't want to see a Revenant-style bear fight, because that's too intense for Uncharted. But we can definitely get something along the lines of Tomb Raider, where there are animals fumbling and bumbling around, and you have to be stealthy around them. And maybe there's a stealth takedown on a zebra. A zebra's probably not that dangerous, is it? Are zebras in Peru? I'm gonna go with no. I'm gonna go with there's no zebras in Peru. I don't think so. So it doesn't matter. But you're not fighting people. And you're just running around trying to get out of the jungle. You're escaping, and it removes itself also from something I'm more a fan of the opposite of what Uncharted does than I am a fan of what it does in terms of globetrotting. I like the idea of being stuck, like Uncharted 1, in one place and fumbling and bumbling away around it. So you'd be lost in the jungle with Maya and Drake, trying to get out. But you're playing as her, because Drake is now the Sully role, who's an old man. And he's got like a monocle and gray hair. I should have photoshopped that. That would have been pretty cool. I'm not that good. So, they're trying to get out of the jungle. Now, along the way, maybe they got separated from the rest of the group. Who cares? Along the way, they find some city. And she's like, oh, this is a cool opportunity. Like, we gotta explore this lost city. And he's like, I don't want to get involved with this shit again. Elena's gonna kill me. I can't do this. Sully, who's now a ghost and a vampire, is not gonna like this. And my brother, who may or may not be dead, I don't know. He'll have opinions. So, because no spoilers. But she wants to explore it, so he's kind of like, I can't just let her all alone explore this weird city in the jungle. So she's exploring, and because she's kind of looked up to this guy, there's a cool dynamic there. And again, there's no fucking random mercenary army that you have to shoot through. There's just, maybe he has like a pistol that's for basically taking out random zebras that live in the jungle, apparently, according to how much I know of animals. So there's a bunch of wild zebras in the city. Just a bunch of zebras and giraffes. All these non-threatening animals that are apparently deadly in the Peruvian jungle. And you're sneaking around through it. And maybe it's kind of more of an open thing where you have to get through this city. And think of the mansion in Resident Evil 1. Where you can go kind of all around and, oh, this is a locked room, I don't know. Maybe if we explore over here, we'll find some clue. And he's helping you, but he's kind of begrudgingly doing it just because it's like we're fucking lost in the jungle and there's zebra everywhere. The point is, there's some amazing moments in Uncharted 4 of solving puzzles and exploring and sneaking around. Maybe there's natives in this city and you want to sneak by them. You do not want to kill them. You're just sneaking around. Maybe there's poachers that you have to hide from. That you're not necessarily killing a mercenary army, why is there a mercenary army? Who has a mercenary army? What civilized person has a mercenary army? Where does that even happen? How do you even do that? This isn't Metal Gear Solid 4. You don't have a mercenary army. Ridiculous. So you're just exploring, and you're wandering around the city, and you get through the city, and you get to the jungle, and it's really just a story of them finding civilization again. And that's it. That's it. That's all I want. That's all I need is the awesome storytelling and no shooty. Stealthy, yesy. But Maya Madeline, for sure. Now, if we can talk about Degrassi for a good 20 to 30 hours, I think that's enough time to get all my thoughts on it, because Degrassi's awesome. Maya Madeline's awesome too. She's one of the later additions in the cast. I think she comes in like season 11. There's a lot of seasons of this show, which I don't recommend starting now. Start when you're 14 like I did, watching this show. Don't start in your mid-20s like a psychopath. That's weird. That's weird. But, circle back to Uncharted. I think they have something here, and maybe some people have complained about the pacing in the first half of Uncharted, but even the last half of Uncharted Uncharted 4 doesn't have a lot of shooting, and really focuses on the characters and the environment and the platforming and the fucking awesome stealth, which I love and I can't get enough of, and I'm gonna play The Last of Us again because I want that experience. That's what it should be. And it's very grounded, sure. But you're still going to be jumping around like a hooligan. You're still going to be finding some lost city. That's exactly what you want from Uncharted. That's all. And zebra jungle. I'm pretty sure there aren't zebra in Peru. Will, are there zebra in Peru? Are there jungles? Are there jungles in Peru? Are there even lost cities in Peru? Where is Peru? Am I thinking of I'm thinking of Portugal, which also doesn't have any of those things. Peru, yeah, Peru would have a jungle. Pfft. Who cares? And then you're on a boat, and maybe you have a jeep. There's some cool stuff to do here. The stealth, you could have a stealth mission where there's a bunch of poacher guys, and your goal is to just stealth around them to get their jeep and then steal their jeep. And maybe they shoot at you, and you just drive away, and you have a cool car chase moment. That's awesome and exactly what you want. You want these cool set piece moments. The parts where you do shitty third person shooting and kill 100 guys are not the fun parts of Uncharted. They're not. To me. No, they are fun, but I think the stealth is just as good. I think the platforming is just as good. Everything else, just as good. And let's get away from Mercenaries Army. Again, why are those freaking PMCs over here? It's out of control. Now I'm gonna look up zebra. I'm gonna look up zebra and try to find where they are, because I think this is a very important thing. Let's just do where zebra. Where zebras live. Zebra facts. Perfect. Map. Perfect. That's near Peru. No. Well, I was close. Maybe they're in Africa. Maybe the zebra. Maybe it's a zoo. Maybe it's a zoo. Peruvian jungle zebra zoo. That's where the next Uncharted. I almost thought I misspelled Uncharted. That's all I have. See, there's a little thing right here that says end. End. Let's go back up to this goofy picture of Nathan Drake. It really, you look back, this is the HD version of that, of Uncharted 3, and it just looks so meh compared to 4. 4 is incredibly good looking. But not to belabor the point, no one's around. Will, you left me all alone here. I had to research zebra by myself. Is it zebras? I keep saying zebra like it's a known plural. Where you don't, a singular plural, I don't know. I don't know how English works at this point in my life. It's yeah. Whatever. So yeah, I do the show every Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, usually for longer. But this is the goofy episode. Not that the others weren't goofy. 3 p.m. Pacific time, twitch.tv/benreacts. And I'm here. See, clearly, I'm the one here. I'm the only one here, but clearly, am here. Do Zebra Zoo. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Zebras. I kind of want to look and see where Peru is exactly, because I'm not 100% sure where it is in South America. It is in South America, let's hope. Ah. Okay, there it is. There's Peru. Now there's where Uncharted 5, the zebra game, happens. Peru declares state of emergency as American terrorists illegal gold mining poisons people and planet. There is a jungle there. I was right about the jungle. Did not anticipate the mercury contamination. Oh well. Merry Christmas.